act like a Tom nigga. I know I whoop a nigga like you myself. You worse than all these white people.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. All my troubles come more nigga.
Is that right?
Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your
It
mouth
makes
is going
me
to be
so
able to carry?
mad. And long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the state.
All right. I am back once again, live and always right. Not always right on time, but always right on these subjects. And I was just talking about this yesterday in the video with Deontay Wilder. It's related to Tyson Fury and where the effects of that fight, psychological effects are with that fight. And now with what I state, like when I be saying this shit about being emotional and not revealing certain aspects of your feelings to the public, and especially if they're things that easily trigger you. And that's what was used in this event. But also, let me say this, man, salute to Derek Chisora for being a true brother in that moment. Because Derek Chisora rolled with Deontay Wilder while that dude was asking him questions that set Deontay Wilder off. As he got on that white dude case when Deontay Wilder walked off. Like he told you not to talk about that. He was like, you wrong. And he was about to walk off. He did leave. He went back there and went to go check on Deontay Wilder. So it was like in a moment, because you find those moments to where you get a white setting, you use a platform such as these, where there's a white host, two black fighters who are pitted against one another. Usually these type of interactions between two black fighters, they're volatile, they're disrespectful, they're argumentative, and you don't find that with these two. You find these two dudes really at a high honor for one another and very respectable towards one another. And it won't have any effect on their niceness, won't have any effect in that ring because they'll turn the switch on once they get into the ring. And so you have to where when you have these settings where a white guy can easily get these two black guys to divide. He can get one of the black dudes to go along and to antagonizing the black dude that he wants to be against. And that subject being Deontay Wilder. Derek Chisora didn't buy into that shit. Derek Chisora stood right on the side of Deontay Wilder. And let that motherfucking sports commentator dude know you was wrong for that shit. And I'm going to roll with my brother. And they got up, went to go check on Deontay, make sure everything was all right. They've been doing their media tour over in the UK, as they should. But the thing about Deontay Wilder and his responses to this Tyson Fury thing and the fact he can't get over what happened in that ring and the fact that it was done fair and square, him bringing up about Tyson Fury not being able to come to America to fight, it has nothing to do with cheating. His ban from the United States has nothing to do with cheating. That's something Deontay Wilder has picked up from these damn YouTube cats who don't even know what they're talking about when they speak on that shit. That shit has everything to do with their association with a damn known fucking international crime boss. Simple as that. If it had something to do with him cheating Deontay Wilder or something to do with boxing, Tyson Fury would have been banned from boxing. Tyson Fury has gone on from the Deontay Wilder fight and found himself in some very lucrative fucking fights. Now that damn reporter, and Wilder gets very, very ignited over this Tyson Fury shit. That fight has fucking scarred the hell out of this dude. And the damage comes from, like we were saying the other day, Tyson Fury had been banned from the sport and probably would have never returned to this shit had it not been for Wilder calling for this dude. And then you go in that first fight, you drop the fool, should have been counted as a knockout. You offer him the opportunity. Now, you don't hear none of these people who now always want to run, kind of run the stories about Tyson Fury's past and shit. Tyson Fury was a drug cheat. He got some boar meat and he was this and that. But y'all called for the fucking fight. Was all animated about the fight. None of these other narratives were ran. But when people suffer defeats, the excuses come along with that shit. And if you never heard such delusionary motherfucking excuses like you've seen from this one, and the fact that this shit rages the fuck out of Deontay Wilder because it railroaded everything. Deontay Wilder was trying to set a path that where he surpassed Floyd Mayweather as being an undefeated fighter. Tyson Fury railroaded that shit. And not only that, he railroaded it with stoppages. And it hurts. It hurts bad. And then you have the presentation of people examining footage that there's nothing to investigate. And then he runs out about a documentary he's releasing. So is it a documentary or is it an investigative journalism piece that you're putting out there? Because I don't think nobody cares to see that shit. And the documentary ain't nothing that's going to be used to examine your damn case. Like, you got to let that one go and accept the damn loss on that one. But also, reporters have to be respectful if the guy asks for you not to bring up Tyson Fury, because he's not fighting Tyson Fury. He's fighting Derek Chisora, who's also on the screen with him. But the reason behind that reporter wanting to bring that shit up is because the other day, when Wilder was in his interview yesterday with the tacky ass Versace dude, and he was asked that question, because everybody was shocked with that shit. That reporter wanted to follow up on that shit, but then the reporter tried to be a little bit challenging, like he was a tough guy. And I think that also may have thrown Deontay Wilder off as well, is the level up of testiness in that fucking reporter or the show host into getting this question out. But also getting this question out as if he was a defender of Tyson Fury and his aggressive approach, and about how he what was the word he used? He was not pleased, or he was dissatisfied. Not dissatisfied. It was a word of where he kind of condemned Deontay Wilder for making those allegations against Tyson Fury. He's like, no, you weren't cheated, but he was coming at him kind of aggressive and shit, and really challenging him and shit. And Wilder was being real agitated. Nose start running, nigga need tissue and all that shit. But he's going a little bit too far in the way in which he shows these emotions. So there's definitely psychological effects going on with the brother. And therefore that can have an effect on him in that Chisora fight as well. He can go in there and be reckless with that shit. Brandon Washington in the building, salute. I know Boxer in the building says salute to the chat. CJ in the building says, all right. Yeah, I can't help when I start videos to always say that shit. I think that kind of get me in my little rhythm and shit. Always, that's kind of my little count. That's really what that all right shit is for me. That's kind of like my count. Like action. What is that shit they say in movies? Ready, set, action, or 1, 2, 3. That's like my 1, 2, 3 count. As I go with that. All right. And especially because my videos be, even my live streams, all my shit is off the dome. So it's like a freestyle and shit. So my thoughts is collecting. It's like a rapper starting off his freestyle with yo, yo, yo. And then Lisa Bell's in the building saying salute to myself in the chat. Salute to Arnold Boxing, Brandon Washington. Salute to CJ. And then Picasso saying, huh? And then Picasso lost once again. Lisa Bell to Picasso. Velocity Cuss says took the lamb to the check. What the hell? Says is that supposed to be a Lambo? Says took the lamb to the check, just like Mayweather. Says call me Malcolm X. Says or Martin Luther King. Wait, is that dumb shit the idiot Fred said? Fred talking about Floyd lawsuit. This is why I was clowning Coonthorne. Fred Coonthorne is loco, man. That motherfucking mind so damn rattled. I don't know if fucking little Lincoln was throwing basketballs at his head. That fool claimed that Floyd Mayweather filed this $300 million lawsuit because he was watching his videos. he claimed he is the Malcolm X of this shit. He compared himself to Malcolm X. I said, man, if this fool ain't about dumb, I might have to start back clowning this retarded nigga, man. That thing about as retarded as they get. That motherfucker said he is the reason why Floyd suing Al Heyman and Showtime is because he showed him the way. That motherfucker Fred is comedy, man. That fool is comedy. And then I know Boxing. And then he was going in on the other YouTube. You see, he ain't go after me. That nigga Fred don't say shit about me. That nigga talk about Monty Brown, which was foul as fuck. Cause Monty Brown, like man. That shit called what he said about, because Monty Brown, for those who don't know, Monty Brown paralyzed. He's a victim of police brutality where they end up shooting him and shit. And so he's paralyzed. And Fred talking about, is Monty walking yet? how's his rehab going? He started talking about the LDBC. He talking about obese niggas. Maybe that was the one about fat, out of shape niggas or some shit. Fred, I'm back in shape. Even when out of shape, nigga, I still would have dust you off. But that nigga Fred is making the rounds on this Floyd Mayweather shit like Floyd won the case. Floyd ain't won shit. And it's like I was listening to Paulie Malachi a little bit. Paulie was saying, how the fuck you let 300 million go by? You see if it was like 2 and 3 million, but 300 million, like, Negro, please, you having fucking financial problem. And I would hate to hear if this fool is losing his fucking money. That you really believe they had $300 million from you? I mean, if they did that shit, them motherfuckers is the masterminds of scheming. And then all of a sudden, it was asking all the cats at the PBC presser for Keith Thurman and what is that fool name? Sebastian Verduna and shit today. And they was like, man, they ain't about to answer that shit. I don't even know how the damn reporter even asked that question. I know Boxer says I got mad respect for Derek Chisora. Says after that interview, says he took Wilder to the streets of London. Says and let him try their type of food. Yeah, I mean Chisora's being a real true brother, and I think that's why a lot of people like Chisora. Chisora's a stand-up dude. He stand on being a real man and shit. You remember he was at that fight? Who was that one fighter? Remember he checked Eddie ass. Remember they tried to put a lighter weight class fighter as a main event, and then that lighter class fighter was running their mouth. Derek Chisora told that motherfucker, nigga, I'll crush you, or some shit to the effect of that, and shut his ass up. Like, don't you be sitting out here running your motherfucking mouth. You better watch who you talking to, little boy. And they went in on having to check Eddie Hearn, I think was the promoter of that shit. I forget who that fighter was. Or was that fighter fucking Regis Prograis? Or it was somebody Derek Chisora checked on the during one of them press conferences or the presser for the fight. But yeah, Derek Chisora's a stand-up dude, man. Win, lose, or draw. He's still the same dude. And that's why a lot of these dudes have that much respect for him. Ton of respect for him. And he's a dark-skinned motherfucker. And this is why it makes no sense that Deontay Wilder holds that victim-ass crutch to no avail. That shit has no impact in anything of you being right about being a dark-skinned dude. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Whenever face of racism, you just being black is all it is. Ain't got nothing to do with your dark skin. Your dark skin don't stop bitches from loving you. Your dark skin don't stop motherfuckers from knowing what the fuck you are. Your presence entering in the room is what sets a standard. Regardless, it can be a black motherfucker that don't like you. Your skin ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. You are a rich dude who white dudes is paying your motherfucking checks. Like, you fucking are crazy, bro. You're losing it. You're losing it. Like, and then that Tyson Fury fight has really had an effect on him. And then Lisa Bell's in the Velocity Cuts, and then Velocity Cuts says Doc Conehead says was a false prophet. Says look like the prophecy has been fulfilled. Man, that fool ain't fulfilled in their prophecy. This nigga Floyd in here trying to find anywhere to find some money at is all that shit is. That case about to fall flat on his motherfucking face. Because who does he go after now if the money is there? He gonna end up having to sue Paramount or something, right? Ain't that where is Showtime even an entity anymore, or was it absorbed and now owned by Paramount? And then Otto Boxer says, Elisa Bell says, peace, sister. Says, how are you? Says, how are you doing? And Elisa Bell says, Otto Boxer says, chillin'. And then says he's too emotional, in my opinion, talking about Deontay Wilder. Way too fucking emotional, man. Way too emotional. And he's going to have to get a grip on that shit because now people know the trigger. He'll be out in the street and some motherfucking just taunting the fuck with him, going in the fight. Or they can be in the arena. Tyson Fury. And it will fuck this dude brain up in the arena. He fighting in the O2. Imagine, they're going to at least be 30,000 people. Is the O2? No, Wembley the one that hold the 90 or 100,000 people. I'm sure the O2 arena hold a bunch of motherfuckers too. So it got to be at least, 60,000 to is that O2 shit up to 90 as well? All the crowd got to do is erupt in Tyson Fury type shit. I think what needs to probably happen, or probably can, is to have Tyson Fury and Wilder have a fucking conversation with one another. Like that shit has to be some healing shit. But the problem ain't gonna get better with Wilder just pushing out a thought and then just running into where he don't want to hear anything else. Like he just caught up in this little bubble, this little warped bubble of his, and it does nothing for his mind state. He is held on to this shit. That shit does nothing for his mind state. And it may show why a lot of people got away from. So it's like, it also adds to, was people really fucking him over? Or was it them having to deal with this version of him that said, like, nah, let's get away from this nigga. This shit can become dangerous. Like that nigga really need to heal itself and do it without the drug ayahuasca and whatever that shit called. Velocity cusses Lisa Bell says Showtime owes me money. Remember that dumb nigga Fred? This is the other thing with Coon Thorne. Remember, he was mad. He was also mad at Steven Espinosa over this. Because remember, he talked about suing remember Mark Jackson and them executive produced that basketball film, and Fred came up some bullshit lie that they stole that shit from him. That was the name of his film and all that shit. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here, you big dummy. I think that shit was called Point Gods or something. It was dealing with the point guards out of New York who were viewed as gods and this shit. Lisa Bell's Velocity Cuss says to me too. I know Boxing says Fred from Barbershop says came out of hiding. Says to talk about the Floyd suing situation. Says he might be corny. He says, but I'm glad the brother's okay. Yeah. I was laughing at seeing that fool back out here on the scene, but he be posting videos because he coaches his son and shit. But that fool was delusional. Remember, he was kissing Floyd ass. That fool had made and developed a documentary on Floyd, or really just a little fanboy video of him tagging along, following Floyd. And then Floyd viewed that nigga, was like, man, this nigga's a goddamn coon. And Floyd ceased and desist that fool, dropping anything on him and shit. And he had been on a war path with the PBC. Well, he still kind of kept himself in good grace with the PBC. But that young Snow Bunny Queen kicked his old black wide nostril ass out of there. Kelly, Milka Magnesia goddess said, reject this goddamn press pass from this damn bozo ass fool. And that fool been on one ever since. Then Donald Trump lost the election that year. He was mad. He had to pay me $100 along with Digging 305. And then Stim from above says, whatever happened to Wilder's skull dent? You know what? I forgot. They don't talk about that shit that I forgot about it. The damn dent could be the damn damage on the damn head and shit. But he was like, he just so adamant that he was fucking cheated, man. He is adamant about that shit. Lassie Cuss says, Monty Brown says is a stand-up guy. Says he should not reply to Coon Thorne. And then Lisa Bell says, I told you. Says the barbershop says, I told you. And then Rab G says, damn, says Fred on Demon Time. And then Fred on one, man. Over Floyd filed a lawsuit. That's how deranged that nigga is. Floyd filed a lawsuit. This nigga come out on a celebration tour like he the motherfucker that did it. And then talking about Floyd watched his videos from all these years. Floyd waited 10 to 15 damn years to file a lawsuit talking about they owe him $300 million. Man, you got to be one of the dumbest motherfuckers on this damn planet. Now, you wasn't born yesterday, Floyd, but you showing the fuck act like it. They watched $300 million. Ain't no motherfucking way. I've been kicking in some goddamn door, flipping the table, opening drawers, and then Lisa. But like I said, that lawsuit about to get thrown the fuck out. Ain't no judge about to sit there and lie. The judge may allow them niggas to present that shit and laugh at these motherfuckers. Lisa Bell's, because I wonder if Floyd lose that damn case. I mean, is it gonna be a huge sell off of assets and shit? But that lifestyle shit that he lives is retarded. It's unnecessary. Lisa Bell says, stinging from above. And then, because nobody else in his family is going to earn that kind of money. It's like, why are you throwing that kind of money at shit? But that's from a person who has had no real management skills for money. And you don't get all these damn wolves of business. That's why I say I don't listen to niggas financial advice. But I like to hear people that have knowledge and talk money, but don't push that shit on me. I don't want your financial advice. I'm a nigga that want to learn shit on my goddamn own. And that may be the thing that creeps up on Floyd is him taking the advice from people who are smarter than him, who are also manipulative. Business people, corporate business people are some of the last people to ever fucking trust without knowledge of shit, especially out that financial sector of shit. And then out of your financial decisions, it's in the real estate side of shit. Man, you fooling your motherfucking self. That nigga through bestowing hundreds of millions of dollars on projects and all that shit. And then I know Boxy says I'm gonna call Fred, says, and give him some jokes. Says to down you with, says so that you know all his t-shirt jokes will be from me. Man, Fred wouldn't dare. That's why Fred don't even speak up on me, because he know I will annihilate him. Man, I'm just too on point with this shit. Man, I would destroy Fred. That's why he didn't bring me up. He brought everybody up. He brought up Money Brown. And that shit was foul the way he's talking about Money Brown. He brought up, I think he talking about Ego. That nigga was so foul. He so foul on this shit. He got to laughing at somebody's house burnt down or some shit. And he helped give that nigga some money. I said, this nigga is crazy. Fred is crazy as a motherfucker, man. Nah, this ain't no Reggie and Fred debate, man. I don't do shit for y'all entertainment. I do shit when I'm ready to clown that nigga, not to entertain y'all. That's the other thing. I know I get on here. I like to joke. I like to laugh. My shit be when I'm in the moment, not for niggas' entertainment. But that's kind of the reason why I cut back on clowning folks, because y'all thought it was for entertainment. I clown these niggas when they got running their mouths, talking shit, and it was simple as that. I'm not on here for people entertainment. That's why I don't cry about the money from this shit. I don't cry about viewerships or losing channels on this shit. I just like the platform. I like what you can do with the messaging. I like what you can do with your opinions on shit. The conversations you can have, the kicking of knowledge. As simple as it. But to clown people for others' entertainment, nah. When I want to clown them one of these motherfuckers for some dumb shit, then yeah. And then Sting from above says Kenny Porter needs to discipline Fred again. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Kenny slapped that fool. That fool Fred is delusional as a motherfucker, crazy. And then and Elisa Bell's Rob G. She's saying salute Rob G back. Texas G says Fred sitting on the weight bench says well probably wasn't working out. Says it's just a prop. Yeah. That nigga is like the weakest nigga that talk about fucking working out and all this other shit. That nigga weight room in his house is garbage. Sim from above says Lisa Bell, salute. Lisa Bell says Velocity Cussa, exactly. Says real solid young man. And then Mr. D says Josh Taylor and Regis Regis Prograde says Derek says put them fools in check. Oh, that's who it was. Josh Taylor and Regis. Yeah, Derek Chisora was in there checking shit. Because I think it was Regis in there talking shit to him and shit. And then Velocity Cuss says, "Hey Slim," says I think Reg low key says want to breed Frogthorn. Says they both have conversations. Says both have sons and daughters. Says both bash black folks, and says and both always claim they always right. No, I'm always right. Fred always wrong. Fred be faking like he rich. Fred act like he's a successful business dude. The nigga in there got talking today that he really can't say certain shit he want to say about people because he employed and shit. But then to play like a boss. No, we know the wife, whose real name is Andrea, not Dre. That nigga just want to give her a dude name because she probably strapped shit on and poked the motherfucker. She's a woman. She has a lady name. She is a girl who she might be a dyke, who knows. But the chick is a fucking doctor making big time bread along with her Asian family who owns units in South Central because the liquor store thing ain't no good. After the Hanjun what are her name? The Kanzun Du, the lady with the Latasha Harlan shit. The Coonthorn in-laws no longer want liquor stores and shit. And then Otto Boxer says, to be honest, says I don't like the way Wilder was sniffing and wiping his nose. Says his behavior kind of acted like someone playing with that booger sugar. Says I hope I'm wrong, man. Yeah, that I was wondering where that shit was come from too, man. It's just like that nigga nose just started tripping just out of fucking nowhere. And I was listening to some shit earlier today. Before seeing this shit, I was watching who was that? Wally and Gilly. Is that the nigga's name? Yeah, Wally and Gilly. were fucking interviewing, what's the crazy fool, Vernon Maxwell. And Vernon Maxwell was talking about when he used to be in games high off of cocaine and shit, he always had a roll of toilet paper. And he said he just in there, nose just running, just blowing snot out. And then to hear when that shit happened and their sore past tissue, I was like saying the same shit. I hope it's not that. And then how trigger he was. He was getting volatile. But that white dude, he put the white dude in check. He ain't got nothing to do with your fucking color. But that white dude knew his damn place. And the problem is with white dudes who think like that is black folks who empower this behavior. Like some of you dumb niggas that love saying white sucker. I call it sucker primacy, but you weird niggas know what the fuck I'm saying. I can't say this shit. I'm like Crip Mac with it comes to trying to empower little bigots and shit. And then it comes out with the shit I was saying yesterday. He brought up this shit about being boys. I'm from the South and I'm this and that. It was everything I said yesterday. Everything I said, I'm telling you, man, I'm like a fucking psychologist and shit without the fucking degree. He brings up this shit. You as a boy, you got white privilege, he was saying to this damn white dude. You don't know, I'm a dark-skinned kid out the South. Like, oh yeah, he been beat up on. He been mentally fucked over. And then Elisa Bell says, get him, says, get the thumbs up. Steam from above says, at least Red says, don't have a lady doctor, says, running his house, says, and having him, it says, having him forced to make videos inside the closet. Facts, man. Ain't no way, man. I wish I was married to a doctor chick. You know, I had bras that have high level education and shit, but ain't never married. Man, if I had Andrew, shit. Fucking have Andrew motherfucking, she had about 13 kids. That's how you know Fred ain't fucking her right. She had 14 kids in that motherfucker. Be knocking her ass up. And then we'll have some fly whips in that motherfucker. And then I know Boxy said laughing at Velocity, cause remember when that nigga, that chick keep leaving that nigga to go out of town with her kids? Like nigga's a deadbeat husband. He a deadbeat married nigga. That bro be going out the country with the kids and leaving that motherfucker, man, making that nigga work at the house. Ain't no way I have bitches in that motherfucker. I wish my chick would keep going on some shit like that. And we bred it up. I'm having a pool party in this bitch. I'm bringing little naked hoes in this motherfucker. And Lisa Bell says, Velocity Cusses, I still want a refund, says, for Maypac. And then, and I don't even see how the nigga Floyd talking about 10 years like he getting money off that Mayweather Pacquiao. If it's a stupid motherfucker on this planet paying for a pay-per-view from fucking Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, arrest that dummy for being a crime of being an extremely stupid ass motherfucker who is bound to commit crime because stupid ass people do criminal things. Velocity Cuss, Elisa Bell says, blame Al, says, for advising Floyd, says, to milk that fight. Shaking my head. And Elisa Bell says, Velocity laughing at Velocity Cuts. User says, Wilder got dictator syndrome. He got something, man. He got something, man, because he does think he's a king and all that other shit. These YouTubers make him believe that. And then the boxing scholar says, says Fred was right on. No, Fred wasn't right on shit. And I don't know how y'all think right. All that nigga did is file a lawsuit. We'll see what comes out of the lawsuit. We'll see what comes out of the lawsuit because the info that been putting out lately about Floyd, which I still don't buy in that shit, and it's just a thing of I hope that nigga ain't going broke, is his finances fucked up. Has nothing to do with his finances being fucked up and him being put in a rut to do with not getting, he let $300 million slip through the fucking crack. Well, how the fuck you can't see $300 million? Get the fuck out of here. And we're going to see if that case moves anywhere or if that case falls flat on his face. Because not only that Floyd has found himself jumping into these business ventures and then him finding himself caught up in being sued over his advertising and shit. That's why you don't see Floyd advertising money shit anymore. Because he don't know what the fuck he be getting into. He get these little white kids that start these little fucking internet cash transferring streams where there's some online gambling, some old crypto shit. He jumping that shit, and then they find they stupid asses getting sued and shit. They do anything for a fucking buck. And that goes back to the shit where I was talking about the other day that's honorable with this nigga Terrence Crawford. Outside of when I was speaking about the way he responded when the dude asked him about having the additional child. The question brought up about, because he's speaking about his retirement. And then the dude was asking, man, so you mean no bound a dollar figure will get you to come back? And he was like, man, you don't stand. He was like, man, and the dude was like, man, I come back for if they gave me blah blah or whatever. He said the money can lure him out. And that's what Terrence telling us, dude. Like you have no principles. You have no morals. A motherfucker make you do anything for some money. And that's some absolute fucking factual shit. You look at the disgusting nature of Floyd. This nigga doing these exhibitions and all that shit. That's why I say Floyd is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Definitely like in my top 5. But I wish somebody knock him the fuck out. Like that shit's annoying to see this nigga don't know how to keep his monkey ass off the ring. Has never established nothing of value to his fucking name. Floyd had one of the most valuable fucking names in boxing. And now that shit is tarnished. His name don't sit up there anymore. Like he's still who he is, but he can't capitalize off that name anymore. It can't be attached to boxing. He can't be the next grand promoter in fucking boxing. He's a joke because he got on this other shit. And he following the kissing the ass of these niggas over there invading other people's lands that they were allowed to come on after dealing with shit in Europe. This fool is a fucking fool. He out of Michigan where America fuck it over in the black folks in that community. He associates himself with motherfuckers on stolen land over in fucking Palestine and act like he's more with them people. Why they fucking him out of his money and shit. Let me tell you, this lawsuit shit is going to backfire on that fool. And I can't wait as time goes on. Who knows? It may be caught up in some legal shit for a year or two. And guess what? They may not even say nothing about this shit. But it ain't going to work out right for him. But I hope I don't see Floyd selling off shit. I hope I don't see that shit. And then Velocity I don't see his plane over there in Vegas when I drive by that little private spot in the airport. Hopefully he ain't have to sell that shit. All he's selling off these homes. And he says, Conehead says, really called you a obese brokey. Man, I don't know if he called it me or what. And then the box scholar says, always right with Fred. Always right with Fred, absolutely. 10 years, it take 10 years though for Fred to be right. And the box scholar Rob G, I know boxing velocity cuts. And then Blue Hustle Man in the building salute says, what up to myself in the chat. I'm going live for the music show with Deuce Time at 10 o'clock too. He wanted to watch his sorry ass Clippers lose. Matter of fact, the sorry ass Clippers is playing James Harden tonight. The Golden State Warriors are trading Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hyde to Atlanta. Then they made some trades. Wait, let me see. So it looked like I thought they was gonna get rid of Draymond Green ass. So it looked like Draymond is safe. Well, I see them damn OKC and the Spurs be going back and forth. That's gonna be a determinant to the Western Conference Finals there. Let me see. Let me see what Deuce in them. Oh yeah, the Cavs kicking the Clippers ass. That nigga gonna be on the music show, mad than a motherfucker. Let me see if James Harden on the floor against them. Let me see. Let me see if James Harden playing them. Let me see. Oh, they did it without James Harden. Yeah, James Harden not there yet. Too early. Yeah, they ought to get their ass kicked. All right, let me get back to the show. Enough of that. And then Blue Hustle Man saying what up to myself in the chat. And then Box Scholar Lisa Bell saying salute back, saying salute to Blue. Blue saying what up to y'all. Let me skip through some of the salutes. I'll flash every comment on the screen though. Some of them I won't read the salutes. Unless it's a first time salute. And then Picasso says leave Wilder alone, man. That's not how you spell the man, like man. And he says he knocked out more people than Mike Tyson. Says I saw the egg weight they hit Wilder with. Says, but y'all guys take it easy. Says I'm going back to work. Facts, Picasso. AKA I know boxing. Always gotta go back to work. And then Lisa Bell's the Blue Hustle Man. And then Kenny Porter's right hand says that fool Fred is unhinged. Man, Fred is psycho, homie. That fool is a certified nutcase. And it was crazy because when that shit first kicked off, I said, let me go see if Fred got word of that shit. And yesterday, the time I looked, I don't think he put the video up. But when I seen the video, I think everybody was waiting for Fred to drop a video on that shit because the video had a lot of views on that shit. I be like, cause Fred been always on that shit for so damn many years, wanting to destroy these niggas. Let me see. And then DJ says, since I sent you a video on IG, says before this lawsuit about Floyd going broke, says he sold the plane. Well, you did send that shit? But let me see. No, I don't remember you sending me that video, DJ. You sure you sent it to me and shit? But he sold, because like I said, I don't see that plane over there at the airport no more. I don't see that plane anymore. That nigga, man, telling you, Floyd did some dumbass shit, man. That nigga, that'd be crazy to go broke from that shit. And like I said, I was shocked when I seen the Yaya mom and them down there buying lottery tickets and shit. And then King Porter's right hand said that fool Fred is unhinged. And the boxing scholar said the Picasso says you kicking tree stumps. And then I know boxer says, hey, chat says Fred is back. Says let's all go back over to the real conversation, chatter. Good times are here again, man. I would love for that nigga Fred to start doing lives again and shit, man. But he gotta bring me on the show. Because don't forget, the real niggas who built Fred's show, me, DB, Brandon Washington. Who else used to be on that shit? Me, DB, Brandon Washington. TB, that nigga TB. Who else built that shit? Like we was the ones that made that nigga show pop. That nigga real rap crazy ass facts. Patty Dean, when he started bringing the guest on during the motherfucking pandemic, Patty Dean was there. Patricia Shelton was there. Her daughter, that nigga, definitely my nigga Terrence Bailey. Facts, Terrence Bailey. We built that shit. It was a nice show. Then nigga Cal came on. Cal was over there. Then that nigga Mex came over there. Like we the ones that built that shit. We had that shit rolling. Oh, H Money crazy ass would jump in there. I think H Money would be live, and that nigga would go live. He says Yaya says she about to CJ, you fucking right. CJ, you are fucking right. Because they was talking about she says she bored and shit. She did say that shit. This nigga going broke, dude. She was talking about something wanting a part-time job. And I swear I was over there by over there on Maryland Parkway in fucking Flamingo. It's a little boba spot over there. Over there where that Target, Mr. Fry's man over there, that Cane's right there, and the chick walked in there, and I swear I thought that was Floyd's daughter. But when she ordered her shit, she went like into the bathroom with some shit. And I'm looking like, is that her? But then I'm like, no, I thought she was a little shorter than this chick, but the chick in the face looked too much like her. She did say she gonna get a fucking, oh God. I hope this nigga, man, but they done been all over the world, but then that's fuck all that shit. That's just like how I used to be when you hear niggas back in the day says, yeah, so that shit crazy, bro. That's just like back in the day when people was making all this bread, having all this money from selling dope. He says, go look at your IG. Says I just hearted it, and then he says, let me see. I don't see no video and shit. I'm lost on what the video you talking about. You gotta send that shit to me on IG. I don't like all them terms y'all use for IG stuff. I don't be knowing that. I don't be knowing them terms. I just be on them platforms uploading shit. And let me see. Yeah, I don't see where you put a thing with the Floyd thing. No, I don't see it. But yeah, that shit crazy if that motherfucker is losing all that money. Like it's that lawsuit makes 0 cents. That lawsuit don't make 0 cents. You let $300 million fucking slip by. And then now out of the blue, this chick talking about getting a fucking job. Man. Says your IG messages, says you viewed the message. It's says a YouTube. No, resend the video. I don't know where the hell that video can be at. And then I'm live, man. You gotta send that shit. Let me see. Y'all throwing me off on this sidebar shit. Now I gotta go to just resend that shit to me on whatever they call that shit, the DM thing or whatever that shit is, the DM. and then or the tag, whatever you call that shit, tagging. And then it says, hey, chat says, oh yeah, I read that one. And then Picasso says Fred versus Reg debate coming soon. No, I ain't gonna debate that motherfucker fool. And then Velocity Cuss says Scholar Conehead says call the PBC propaganda scheme before they got a deal, says with Showtime. And guess what the PBC did tonight? Guess what the PBC had going on today? A press conference. But guess what? Fighters. Floyd, the only nigga filing a lawsuit. PBC done fucking made all these fighters that's out here, and only Floyd out here suing. And then I know Boxer says, the Boxing Scholar says, what's happening, Slim? I just hope Floyd ain't lost all that fucking money, man. Listening to these old con artists in fucking New York telling him to buy property in that motherfucker. That damn shit. This be the other thing with like the high-end luxury side of real estate and shit. Them motherfuckers buy and sell that shit so goddamn much. That shit changes hands so much. It's even like in Vegas. These casinos change hands so damn much. You look 1 year, one casino may own a bunch of properties over here, then they'll sell that shit. Like, and then how they gonna distribute the money? Like, this fool done put up $100 million of his dollars on this shit. And then talking about, because I looking at a video, he talking about, says just resent it. I was looking at a video. This fool was on the stage talking about how he talking about, oh, this that fool from oh yeah, I ain't about to watch this shit right now. This fool, what's this fool called? Y'all know what channel you talking about. This is that Al Prophet dude. Yeah, Al Prophet channel. Al Prophet. Oh, but you saying that he said that Floyd sold the airplane? Damn, so that's true. Cause I was wondering why I don't see his plane over there. I'm like, I know that nigga can't be flying that damn much. And then Picasso said, the Boxing Scholar says, he's talking about, I guess it's from that kicking trees comment. The Boxing Scholar says, you definitely says would destroy him, says, but he's right on this. Yeah, he can be right to y'all. The nigga ain't right to me. And then Lisa Bell says, Kenny Porter's right hand. Now, Floyd will only be right when the judge and the jury say, all right, Showtime, Al Heyman, give Floyd his $400 million. Until then, this is no different than a bitch taking a nigga to court to act like you did this and that to her and she need $100 million. What, you guilty? Fuck out of here. You niggas is retarded. And then the Box Scholar says a KP in the building. And then he says KP that was good. And KP says Fred kicked off West Coast Wednesdays for real. That day kicked off the West Coast Wednesday. And then Picasso says, what Fred do this time? Man, Picasso, you better go back and watch that nigga videos. And then Otto Boxer says the heck you don't do stuff for our entertainment. Says that's why we come here. It says for laughs and jokes. Says because we all know your opinions on things is completely wrong. Always right in this motherfucker. And then Blue Hustle Man says Key Cooking Red says hit the like button, people. Yes indeed. And then King Porter's right hand says what up, Scholar, but don't write too much because I'm gonna end this shit because we going on the fucking the backup channel to do music at 10. So once Deuce Clippers lose this fucking game to James Harden new team and shit. And then Box Scholar Kenny Porter's right hand says I'm tripping, bro. Says they talking about football or some shit on PlayStation. Kyle says Fred is a fake zillionaire. Yeah, that nigga be fake balling and shit. But he done married a proper broad though. I ain't gonna take that from him and shit. Then they married a doctor, bro. You can't take that away from nobody. And then the Box Scholar, but her family like you married a little bum. her parents want to fucking karate chop this nigga. And karate chop his ass out of existence. And then the Boxing Scholar says I don't remember the numbers at the end. And then RL says salute. I know Boxing says the Picasso says yes sir. Says good brother. Says it's a blessing. Says to have a good job in this economy. Man, it ain't this economy a motherfucker. I'm seeing a lot of people going through this shit. I be wishing I was a rich ass motherfucker, man. There be a lot of people I see and be wanting to help them. Like, man, let me just be one of these motherfuckers. Do like Shaq do, go in the store and just buy people a bunch of shit. Like, I think I'll do some shit like that if I got rich. Not all the time. I don't want to go broke being over generous and shit. But it's some real fucked up shit I be seeing out here. And then the Boxing Scholar says, but would I be racist in my motherfucking giving if it was just me going into it? Wouldn't even just be about a black thing, because it'll be like poor whites I help out, help the kids and all that shit, do giveaways, just buy shit. But even I'll be thinking about this shit. Like if you did like one of them big large giveaways, I'll have to have it controlled, because some poor people act like fucking roaches. I don't want motherfuckers storming shit, grabbing shit, the kids acting wild, unappreciative, handling shit rough. Like, no, it'll have to be controlled. It'll have to be where motherfuckers know how to behave and calm. You just come through, grab your shit, and just take care of motherfuckers for a good amount of the year, coats and clothes and shit. Like, cause it'd be some fucked up shit I look at, and just drive through like poor ass areas and just look at this shit. And then this will make me so like heated when it comes to the way these politicians run things, and the way everything's just focused on the wealth class and shit, and everybody else just looked down upon. Like, that shit is not cool. And I think people should take a spin through shit and just look at the condition in which people live, the American people live. And you get these old bitch-made people living high up on these, imaginary thrones they live on and shit. You got this bitch-ass president trying to run wasted money on box office film about his worthless-ass bitch. Shit is crazy. And then on the box it says, and then I got a cousin who believed Trump gonna give him $2,000 and shit. This niggas is crazy. And then the boxing scholar, I don't know, boxing says, what's good? Oh, they personal comment. I can skip all that shit. Kenny Porter says, oh, that's a scholar, and he says, them niggas said I was using Floyd's money. He says the fund Redhead versus Plant. Says Mel, Charlo, Mangia, and Berlanga shaking my head. Man, them fools don't know where none of that money came from. These fools hate, everybody hate each other. That's all that shit is. We don't know where the money come from. I doubt if they taking the money. Floyd would be a stupid motherfucker to let them use his money, reinvest. But Floyd did claim that he's an owner of the PBC, so his money will have to be reinvested in that shit, right? So as Floyd's a co-owner of the PBC and all that shit, pretty sure his money is going to be used for these fights and for these events. I mean, shit, go figure. Dumb nigga always jumping out there. He the voice of PBC shit. He the voice when they don't want to make fights. So therefore, his money is definitely heavily involved in the operations at the PBC. The problem is overpaying these athletes. Ain't no money in boxing. Ain't no money. Ain't none of these motherfucking superstars. These fools is crumb snatchers. Like, you can't make no money in that shit because the fighters didn't do their part. Al Heyman them did the right. Al Heyman came in there with the right plan. His plan is the same plan that Turkey's using. all Turkey shit is a copy of what Al Heyman came in doing. Except Turkey and them now have to be a little way more vigilant with shit. And who to come in there? Because Turkey probably ain't got it in his heart to be as mean as you need to be these dudes, but Dana White does. Turkey wasn't gonna go through no Bob Arum because Bob Arum was snake Turkey, and Turkey and them had to behead that motherfucker. Same thing with Eddie Hearn. And definitely Oscar De La Hoya. They would dismember Oscar De La Hoya. You'll never find that motherfucker. So to not have this little international fallout that like Saudi Arabia had when they did that shit to that fucking reporter and chopped his ass up and put him in, they still ain't found that fool. They said, let's go with Dana White, who we can probably do clean business with. Dana White respects gangster shit. He worked with mobsters and criminal motherfuckers. He knows to not go with this violating shit, but he ain't gonna let these fighters fuck over him. And so that's what the decision is made. We're gonna make sure we can lower the amount of money. We're gonna give these fighters good pay. They're gonna have to do their shit. Because the T.O. versus Shakur, that shit had a lot of people in that motherfucker. And guess what you don't hear about? You don't hear no money talk on that shit. Ain't no gate attendance, none of that shit. That shit was packed. Ain't no gate attendance talk on that shit. And then RL says water better not eat or drink in the UK, LDBC. Yeah, the fools always called that dumb ass shit. And then Wilder better eating that motherfucker. And then Picasso in there rolling. Cause he eating over there now. Them fools ain't poisoning fools like that. And then Rob G says, cause they fight ain't even that significant to poison Wilder. Then they're talking about watch his food like fucking fighting Derek Chisora, who's talking about retiring after this shit, is like the creme de la creme of boxing. He says, is it true Shakur got stripped of belt? Yeah. He got stripped by that whole ass sanctioning body dude. The one I had went off on that I showed the video where when I called him out about the Ali shit, and he said, and I was calling him a racist, and he said, "You're the racist." That guy. That's the guy Terrence Crawford told he ain't paying that nigga that sanctioning money. And then since Shakur and Terrence Crawford is aligned with one another, that dude did that shit to Shakur and shit. But Shakur ain't giving a fuck. Shakur like, nigga, I ain't about to dare pay your. Imagine this nigga Shakur put on that performance. This old greedy motherfucker. And once again, like I say, always right like a motherfucker, because I knew that motherfucker Suleiman was a piece of shit. That greedy motherfucker think he's supposed to take $100,000 out of whatever Shakur made for whooping Teofimo ass. Shakur ain't whooped Teofimo ass with that belt in his hand. He wasn't swinging that belt at damn Teofimo. He was swinging gloves that Mauricio Suleiman ain't paid for. Mauricio Suleiman ain't buy none of that shit. But then it says over the fees. Says, damn, yeah, the niggas got to pay a percentage of their money for these funky ass belts. Which what sport? That's like you win the damn NFL player in the Super Bowl this week, win that shit, and they got to pay a fee. Imagine to get the touch of the trophy, you got to pay a fee for that motherfucker. Like, hell nah. Them belts serve zero purpose. Zero purpose, except you want to use them to be like, you fought this best guy. But when these niggas is able to throw in percentage fees out of money, boxing is the hardest way to earn money. Boxing and MMA have to be the hardest ways to make fucking money. Like, and these niggas out here talking about they earn percentage of shit. Like Shakur put in that little post he put. Shakur, he said to his daughter, said, nigga, you think I'm about to give you $100,000 for some shit you ain't earned? And he said, like he said with his daughter, like, nigga, my daughter can use this shit. He put title his daughter name and like, nah, I'd rather you had this $100,000. Fuck them punks. Mauricio Suleiman, fucking man, nigga is a piece of fucking shit. Like how Wilder be acting when they bring up Fury, that's how I act when they talk about Mauricio. That piece of, just a real filthy ass piece of shit. I'm glad Terrence Crawford was the one that stood up to that punk. And then now this dude, but really it was Monster Inoue. I remember a while ago, Monster Inoue. I think when Monster Inoue knocked out Cool Boy Steph and Mauricio or somebody from WBC tried to put that WBC on, and that nigga took that shit off. And then I think WBC tried to threaten Beterbiev when they was trying to make him fight in China. Beterbiev stood up against the genocide of the Muslims over in China and said, "Fuck y'all. Y'all can have all these belts. I ain't fighting over there," because they end up, Bob Arum didn't win the damn purse bid. The Chinese promoter won that shit. Beterbiev a stand-up motherfucker. On the boxing says, the boxing scholar says, oh, that's, let me see, I can skip that, they writing each other. And Lisa Bell says, liquid money is different than says different from assets. Yeah, liquid is just cash on hand and shit. And then so I mean, then when you look at the assets, like assets are just money on fucking paper. But then when you go to, is somebody gonna really, now you gotta sell that shit. That's my thing with this shit. These niggas be talking about buying. Somebody gonna pay you for what they say is on paper? No, because people put homes and properties on the market. If the market's hot, yeah, they'll pay that shit. You can go in here. If the market ain't hot, niggas gotta reduce that price to look for buyers and shit if they need the money. Like, hell no. And then you get people who are smart. They have understanding of the damn markets. They have all this intrinsic information on shit. And they'll look at it like, nah, that shit ain't worth that shit. I'm not buying that shit. How about you come lower down on the price? And Brandon, you be capping. I knew you was in here. That's why I knew you was in here. That's why I made that statement about niggas trying to tell niggas to buy shit and don't know nothing. I know how to get y'all out the woodwork. Always right. And then Jake says you always stay on top of your money, says in your paperwork. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And then salute to Brandon, falling for the trap. But I knew I was making that shit directly for you to holler like a hit dog. And then Thug says the Thug and Chuck Taylors. For those who don't remember that shit, this shit come from Fred Coonthorne's book. This fool talking about a Thug and Chuck Taylors, and that's what the women was wanting. This nigga got some gay shit in the book. I'm gonna upload that book to my backup channel and shit, clowning that fool. The Thug and Chuck Taylor says, "Crip, crip, hooray!" Says I'm still whipping the Tesla, cuz. Says and cracking Andrea's fortune cookie, cuz. And then the kid sports says that Jewish dude says, well, Floyd says giving him a lot of bad advice. Says he was doing crypto scams since back in 2002 or 2022. Yeah, because Floyd and all them dumbass niggas was getting caught up promoting these damn cryptocurrency brands for these little rich ass computer tech kids who just wash their hands. Oh, because you get so many people that are followers. Like we deal with a society of idiotic motherfuckers who would just follow the advice of niggas they look up to. That's why it's so dangerous to have people that it's one thing to watch shit, but to have people that are just influenced by somebody's fame and presence or whatever else, the shit they create. And that's the experiment that goes on with creating certain popularity and influence, and people just run around, tag along with them, and you be like, what the hell you find so intriguing that you're following these people like that? But they have such a control, so they can put this famous person's name that will say, yeah, I buy this cryptocurrency and this and that. They getting kickbacks, and these people throw their money into that shit blindly, have no idea what the fuck they putting their money into, thinking this shit gonna blow up. That same shit niggas is doing with the NIL. No, not NIL. What was it? The NFTs and all that dumb shit. When that shit was hot, a lot of famous people promoting that shit. And then now that shit is falling dead. They move on to the next little venture and shit to get people to scam, invest their money over into some shit, thinking they don't get a return. They don't get shit. And these niggas jumping in that crypto shit, don't know a goddamn thing about any of that shit. People are losing their money, got scammed and conned, and he found himself in multiple lawsuits over that shit. Kim Kardashian, dumbass too. Like, I don't listen. You can't listen to none of these motherfuckers. You ain't been taught this shit. Don't fuck with it. And it's like almost every investment is risky. Like, when they gonna start doing shit that makes it sound and safe for Americans to make investments that secure them financially, rather than it being gambles and shit. Like, and if Picasso says nothing wrong, they have allowed this country to be handed. Well, not they have, the retarded ass people, the masses of the voting public and their stupid asses and ignorance have allowed the overturn of America to a wealth class that is only here to fuck you over. They get two fucks about you. And then Picasso said that's why it makes no sense for people to be fuck ups and to spend so much of their lives in the streets and throwing their motherfucking freedom away, and then don't have shit as time begins to close. Like, man, come on. Because this country wouldn't get two fucks about it. Like I said, I drive around, so many people living on the streets, so many people struggling, and this country can give two fucks about them. And then the same people talking about they Jesus believers and all this other stupid shit. And the Picasso says nothing wrong with Wilder. Says it was those dudes hanging from his boss. Says after Wilder's life took a 90-degree turn. Says crabs. And then he's saying no boxings. And then Velasquez says Floyd versus Mike Tyson next month. Says then Floyd versus what is that? Zimbalist. What was that? Zimbalist in June. Yeah, even that shit. Even that sick-minded shit. Like, nobody cares to watch Floyd do that shit. Nobody want to watch Mike Tyson do that shit no more. And it was clear as day Mike Tyson did that shit for the money as well. Who's another nigga that's thrown away fucking fortunes of fucking money. That I hope that fucking Tyson versus Floyd shit ain't real. And then I hear you trying to fight Pacquiao again. That nigga is desperate for fucking money because of his retardation and lifestyle. And he done took care of a lot of motherfuckers. Floyd, I've seen that shit firsthand. That Floyd's taking care of a lot of fucking people. A lot of fucking people. Just throwing money the fuck away. And if Velasquez says Conehead was 100% says talking about you, says, but went over your head, cuz. And then Picasso says, let me see. Damn, my damn kid. This nigga better not be asking me to buy him something. And then Picasso says, I thought Harden says got shut down, says and traded. He got shut down and traded. No, he's going to the Cavs and shit. But I thought he was gonna get time on the floor today, but he didn't. And then Otto Boxing says, like the old saying goes, says a fool in his money says will soon depart. Floyd was always bragging on his money. Says and now he's about to be the laughing stock of the internet. Says hashtag 50 Cent. Oh, if he lost all his money, 50 is definitely gonna clown the fuck out of him. Definitely gonna clown the fuck out of him. And then Rob G says them Clippers again. He laughing at them Clippers again. And then DJ says, he's talking about the video from earlier about Floyd losing that bread. And he says, Deuce time says Deuce is a hardened trotter, man. Yeah, it's funny he ain't talking shit about James Harden and shit, trading on him. And then the Go Young DJ says he sold the plane, talking about Floyd's plane. And then it goes into the daughter talking about getting a job. That shit is crazy. Says Floyd would do anything. Facts, man. That nigga, it's pathetic watching this nigga Floyd. And I see always be like, man, maybe he just one of these niggas that don't know anything else. And he just can't give up boxing. But no, it's for the money. Remember before the Saudi king died, this nigga's gonna do the fight on top of some 1,000-foot building and all this other shit. And he said, what's passwords? I'm trying, man, what the fuck? I don't want no fucking password. Oh my God, man. Hold on. God damn, these. Let me see. Hold up. Hold on 1 second. All right, hold on. Let's see. Wait 1 second. All right. All right, let me see. And then Lisa Bell says he's liquidating his assets. So he's liquidating his assets. Niggas selling off. Buy. And hurry up and buy. That's what that nigga really doing. Hurry up and buy in lawsuit. And then on the box it says you got jokes, says coming your way, Picasso. And then let me see. Oh my God, this is code 898. 898. 898. God damn it. Hold on, what that shit said. Damn, let me see. I'm trying to see my memory is good enough to hold numbers. All right, there we go. And then the boxing scholar laughing at Picasso. Lisa Bell's Go Young DJ. And then Rod G laughing says, so I think the code is sent to your email. Man, come on, bro. Like, stop fucking texting me this shit while I'm doing. Where's my email shit at? Hold on, give me 1 second. Well, my kiddo was sending me some shit. This should be the man. The fuck? Oh, hold on. What I'm putting? Hold on 1 second. This is why I don't like people disturb me when I be doing this shit. And then it don't even be about nothing what they keep texting me about. And then Rob G says, oh yeah, he talking about the people who helped build Fred's show was all of us. Rob G was on that motherfucker. And then Picasso says the drunk ninja. And he says Fred is probably talking about says Fred is talking crazy about little Steven and Al Haymon laugh out loud. And he says Warren Buffett says don't even live facts. Not even Bill Gates, none of them rich motherfuckers. Says he's cautious about his money. Yeah, it's like they wouldn't waste their money on that shit. You real rich. If I was a real rich ass nigga, I would have me a nice ass RV, 2 or 3 nice ass car, player ass pad, and that's it. And then have me a hoe every now and then. But shit, you can go fuck a bitch for free. I'll just fly to a poor ass country and fuck a bitch for free. Hey, homie, man. Fucking kid gonna keep writing me fucking to send him some old Robux passcodes. I don't fucking know. Give me 1 fucking second. God damn. I don't see that shit. Hold on. This nigga better be going to sleep. Shit. Hold on 1 second, folks. Let me see what time is it, because I'm about to end this shit so we can do the music shit. Let me call this dude. Tell him to fucking stop calling me asking for this shit this damn late. Hold on 1 second, folks. Oh, my bad. I'm back. These damn kids in these damn games, man. Good grief. I know Box says Coach Malachi broke down those boxers' payday. Says the percentages. Says it took a lot of money. Says it took a lot of money. Says from them boxers. It says it's a shame. Man, nobody knows what that shit took from them boxers. Them boxers living their lives, got rich, start doing dumb shit. And then CJ says Yaya says she about to get a job. I'm gonna do a video on that shit. I'm gonna definitely do a video about her saying that shit. And then Rob G says that chick that used to close out the show said before DB. Yeah, that was Patty Dean. And then says yeah, Patty Dean says B&B boxing. And Jashawn and the roller salute to my brother Jashawn. And then Lyskin Cleveland says reports say Floyd is down to $60 million. See, I be hoping that's not true, because I be like, how do people know what kind of money this nigga got? And they be like, fuck, man, like that nigga living too high up on that fucking hog, man. I be wanting to see niggas win. I would hate to see, and that's a lot of money still, but I would hate to see Floyd fuck that shit off on me. Like, you gotta be a stupid ass motherfucker, man. And then even like the security team. How much you think he's paying the security team? Nigga is stupid. Some niggas dumb when they get all that kind of, I would hate for motherfuckers to touch that kind of bread and lose that shit. Like I said, I ain't with that bitch ass hater shit. I'm not with bitch ass hater shit. And then and I'm glad I ain't like that. I'm glad I ain't never had that old bitch ass hating shit in my heart. And then Rob G says, dance to B&B was classic comedy. Says dude was hilarious. Yeah, that fool B&B drunk ass hilarious. B&B used to be scared when I used to bring them home. When I brought some females on a couple of times, that nigga in there nervous, acting weird as fuck. Now, you know who be having the bad chicks on their show? Is that shit that Blu-ray. I think the 78 channel and shit. That nigga Blu-ray. I tip my hat off to him. He be having some little pretty ass bras, and they be having some real discussions. They be having discussions that Always Right with Reggie Owens been talking about. Always, all I hear over there when I watch that shit is Always Right with Reggie Owens. The shit I be talking about when it comes to relationships. And then I'm hearing more and more women that regurgitate the shit I be saying. That nigga be like, man, Reg, you crazy. Well, how about y'all go listen to bitches say it? And then auto boxing, but yeah, when I catch that show, I like to catch that show. There's some pretty ass chicks on that motherfucker. And salute to Blu-ray and them. I don't agree with Blu-ray on nothing when it comes to like politics and other shit. But on the topics they be going on over there, dealing this one, as long as ain't other politics shit, they be on point with a lot of their shit. And then Nano Boxer says, "Where Terrence Bailey at anyway?" Says I pray the brother's okay. Man, Terrence on this shit for his relative. They doing the what is it, Frederick Douglass 208th birthday. He had posted some shit on one of the Maryland news stations out there, and they getting money for that foundation for the Frederick Douglass shit. Now you remember, and that should be the funny thing when we used to do the shows, and you'd be talking about shit. Terrence always would jump on there and start talking about Frederick Douglass, and then just fuck the whole vibe of the show up. Nigga like, man, they don't want to hear that shit. And then but that nigga stayed pushing his relative and shit. And then the Picasso says I only came for a minute. And then CJ says, yeah, that shit crazy, bro. Talking about Yaya. And then Boxing Scholar says, I know Boxing says he married Travis Hunter's wife, says he'll be fine. And then ZJ says, oh yeah, he's talking about the video on the IG. Lyson Clea says the dude spent tens of millions of dollars on jet fuel like a fool. Says he could have flown first class and said facts. I would definitely fly first class because them planes cost a lot. It even cost them a lot to charter them planes. To charter some of them planes is like fucking, they charge by the hour. To charter like a nice ass private plane is like fucking like $10,000, even something more per hour. If you going shit from California, New York, what is that, a 4-hour flight? One way you spending like 40, 50,000 on that shit? Nigga, fuck no. Them niggas, and you see people on private planes, they have spent a lot of money unless they get deals worked out. And then and they saying the IG says, oh yeah, he was talking about the video with the plane. So like that nigga, like I believe that shit because I do not see that plane at the airport no more. I know Boxer says you really seen Floyd baby mama? Says buying lottery, yeah. Says did you shoot your slot, Slim? Says let her know. Says she's in the presence of a real player. No, I seen her one homegirl because when I was walking in there, that's how I knew it was them because I seen that Rolls Royce outside that mug. But it used to be that I remember seeing her sister. I used to talk to her sister, not like holler at her, but her sister was cool. Whenever Floyd have a fight, she'd come into because my branch used to be right up the street from the gym and shit. And so we would rent to like Leonard Ellerby, her sister would come in town. And that's how I was like, I knew they was like on a real black shit. Cause one of the kids while they in our lobby and shit. And she said, I never tell none of my secrets. She said, not even to a black person. When white folks in there looking, all staring. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, yeah, y'all teaching our kids right. But she always come in there and rent cars from me and shit. But she's always cool. I can tell when I heard her tell them what they was in there for, I can tell it was like, first I thought she was, what's her name, mom and shit, because they look alike. They both short, little pretty chicks. Then that one chick, man, the little broad Floyd used to have with him that looked like a little escort type chick. She always be jeweled up and shit. I used to think, not gonna say this shit on here, but she used to always come by there and she'd stop by the branch and come just ask shit, like ask her to help her with her phone or some shit. I used to be thinking like, is she flirting with me or some shit? Like, let me try to get at her, man. I'm with my kids, mom. I wasn't about to try to make no shit. Like, but who knows? But you know, people put it past. They think when a broad fucking with a rich dude, like a regular motherfucker ain't hit. You niggas is clowns. If you believe that shit. These bitches, all type of regular motherfuckers fuck little high sedity ass bitches who be locked in with niggas probably got hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. Like, fools is crazy. And then he says, but yeah. And then I see all type of motherfuckers out here. Lisa Bell says, like I said, I used to go to be at the Fertitas in them homes that own the UFC and shit. And then Lisa Bell says he was living above his means, including gambling. Oh, and then the nigga do gamble. Bad. That's right. That nigga gambles bad. I forget that shit. And Lyson Clea says, I know Boxer says, I know, right? Says I haven't heard his stirring ass in a minute, laugh out loud. And then they says, DJ speaking code says he compromised. And he says he resent it on IG. And the Lyson Clea says Floyd can't say anyone robbed him, says when all of his terrible investments and purchases are documented on video. Says Excuse me. He says it's like watching a terrible car crash as a slow motion, man. It's that lifestyle, man. Niggas can't keep living like that and shit. And Velocica says when it's hammer time, says I'm pulling out the stick. Says I'm at the car walk. Says I'm at the car lot. Says I'm going broke. Says I'm paying for 5. Says they front a couple more. And then I don't know what the hell you talking about. And he's saying about the video on IG. Oh no, he's talking about yes to Al Prophet making that video. Picasso says Floyd has the funds to pay lawyers. Says to collect the money. Says other fighters can't. Says he's probably trying to pay his taxes. And then Blasica says Slim says Floyd BM says probably thought Reg was panhandling outside the liquor store. No, I was looking all crappy anyway. But it don't matter how you look. If a bitch on, a bitch on. Whether you skinny, fat, whatever. And then Otto Boxer says Amazon UPS says laying off thousands of employees. It's sad. Says if any of y'all are affected by that, says I'm praying for y'all. Yeah, I seen that shit. And then guess where they doing all these mass layoffs? Because of AI and shit. I think UPS was doing something dealing with helping with the deliveries for fucking for Amazon and shit. Like they're going overboard with this tech shit. It's all about, satisfying certain type of people with certain type of shares in these companies and shit. Like it's BS. And Congress has to act on it, but the people have to get smart in the way they vote. But right now the people are stupid as fuck. Like I said, I was on the white dude channel. All he talking about the Democrats this. Like, oh yeah, you sound like a compromised idiot, motherfucker. A person adding on to the wealthy fucking you over while you think you down for the cause and the people. And then Picasso says, yes, since I ordered something, it hasn't showed up. I don't know what they talking about. Oh, talking about the Amazon shit. And they're laughing. And then Velocica says, you always right, says when it comes to politics, says, but always wrong on everything else. I mean, I'm always right on all this shit, homie. And I just throw that shit just because I know it pisses people off. You tell niggas you right on everything, that makes niggas mad. Because then they be like, you think you would know it all. And people too dumb to figure out that I don't believe none of that shit. But I know I'm right on a lot of shit compared to you niggas. And then CJ says, is it true? Oh, you was asking about Shakur losing his belt over them wanting $100,000 from his ass. And then I know Boxy says WBC stripped Shakur says because Shakur ain't pay him a sanctioning fee. Says even though Shakur didn't fight for the WBC lightweight belt, Shakur won the WBO junior welterweight belt. And then in the Velocica says wasn't Prozac P, says Uno, Westbrook, Kawhi, Norman Powell, says and all the blippers says at one point says we're on the blippers at one point, says but Powell is the only all-star now. That shit got a piss deuce off. Brandon put the cap out when I brought up that shit about niggas like him giving out information they don't know nothing about, or telling people to buy shit and you don't know if you're gonna get the value on that shit. And then they say on the boxing, Velocity says, yep, says Norman Powell is balling. And then Velocity cutting, they're rolling. And then I didn't even know that nigga Chris Paul was in the league still. I thought when they got rid of that nigga, he was done. I see that nigga was in the trade today. I was shocked about that shit. Y'all see that shit, the FBI? Let me show y'all this shit. Like I brought up the other day about how Trump and them really turn America into the Nazis' vision of an Aryan utopia. Let me show this shit. Let me pull this shit up real quick. Let me show y'all this shit. This shit is comical, man. This shit is comical. Let me see. All right, here we go. Let me show this shit on the screen real quick. Nike accused of bias against white workers. It's under federal investigation. It appears to be the first time, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission has targeted diversity policies at a large company. Always right with this motherfucking myself, goddammit. This motherfucking chump ass president pushing the lines on shit. Trying to really push the lines and making it to a white utopian society. And that's why you get little punks like Grant Cardone can talk about Man, if you white and you ain't making it, you just ain't trying, because he realized what the setup is going on. Federal agency says the federal agency that safeguards hiring practices said on Wednesday that it was investigating Nike, the sports wear giant, for diversity efforts that it said amounted to discrimination against white workers. I gotta do a damn video on that shit. Boy. If this ain't goddamn Hitler, I don't know who the fuck else is. And then Auto Boxer says because a lot of us missed out on the Bitcoin investment. Says Bitcoin was 25 cents at one time, says when it first came out. Says now Bitcoin is 80K, says per coin. They putting that shit out there. I doubt that shit is worth that shit. I have never ever seen a motherfucker buy anything with a Bitcoin in my life. Can you pull money out with that shit? I don't want none of that shit. Just like you had that, what is it, NFL player fucked himself over investing into that Bitcoin shit? Who was that motherfucker did that shit? And then and Elisa Bell says I love how Floyd loves his grandson. Yeah, that's dope, man. Even like with the family, like I said, I seen with the family like firsthand in the way the kids act and they pride in being black. And then Go Your DJ says Floyd would do anything for money. That's a fact. And then Godbody Sean says Clippers owner says gotta be on dope. The fools don't know how to recruit talent. And fools don't know how to they don't have recruitment skills and shit. They hiring too many little computer tech analytic using motherfuckers instead of using their eyes to really spot fucking talent. And then that's why I don't like all this techie weird shit going into everything. AI weird shit. These old analytics using motherfuckers. That's why I say back, even when I used to be on that shit back in the days of all this statistics shit they pop up. Charles Barkley used to be the only nigga that used to clown that analytical shit because he knew where this shit was headed. Then while watching the NFL playoffs, Microsoft with a commercial typing in motherfucking dumbass shit when they go into recruitment. I want a person with leadership and all this other shit. Says someone took their salary in Bitcoin. Says I forgot about that. Yeah, I think it was who the fuck did that? They fucked themselves over. Was it the nigga that no, it wasn't Eric Schroeder. It might have been Odell Beckham or somebody. Somebody stupid ass did that shit. And then he says real rap in here. No, I ain't seen real rap in a minute, man. And then Auto Box says the Boxing Scholar says I remember when I thought you and real rap says were the same person, man. Hell no. And he says Kumonga says just got traded for Przanga. Yeah, I had read that. I had read that shit earlier and shit. That they wait, is that the nigga that Deuce Time be talking about he don't like? Wait, hold on, let me go back to that shit. Let me see. Oh no, he from Golden State. Doves deal Kumonga, Hyde says and Hyde for Przanga. So that's what I was saying earlier. That nigga Draymond Green dodged a bullet, being that he's still on the team. But it ain't over with. They may get rid of his ass still. They may get rid of that fool. Yeah, I was shocked to see that nigga Chris Paul still in the league and shit. Why is Kuminga good? Is Kuminga good? Where you end up going? Says to the Hawks. Then they send that fool way over to Atlanta for Porzingis. Wait, to Porzingis? Timeout. Is Porzingis that motherfucker that the New York Knicks picked a long ass time ago in their first draft pick? That's why I don't watch these damn sports, man. They be doing some stupid shit. Man, I know if I can be a GM in any of these sports, I will pick a championship team. I know I can pick a championship team. I can spot fucking talent, man. And Vasco says Bayo is trying to save his money. Says for the reverse infrared 6 says let him stunt. Hell no. That nigga that asked me to give an iPad, this nigga break every fucking electronic device he get. But he got a phone. He been keeping that motherfucker. But I'm talking about computers for this. And it may have been my stupid ass buying him a computer too young. I mean, this nigga has broken. Even with the school, nigga, we owe the school money. This nigga was breaking they shit. This nigga. And then I let this nigga, when he get his phone taken, he be want to use my computer. I listen to this nigga push these buttons. Be like, remember how Pinky got at that nigga driving that car too? I said, hey, nigga, You pushing the motherfucking keys a little bit too fucking hard. Like, clack, clack, clack. That nigga. Then I think they used to get mad on the game and will break a fucking computer. And then like a stupid nigga, I go buy another one and shit. I done brought like, then they asked me about an iPad. I'm like, hell no. And then fuck no, you ain't taking that shit. I don't know. I'm really guessing that, thinking that one over if I'm gonna do that shit. That nigga rough on shit. And then Rob G says, no, Scholar says we was talking about the OGs, says from Fred's show. And then Rob G says no, says that was Reese Joe, says not Patty Dean. Oh, Reese Joe crazy. Yeah. I mean, he said that nigga heavy-headed. Yeah, man, this nigga crazy, baby, breaking all type of shit. And then he used to throw the shit on the ground, man. I don't know if I whooped his. I don't think I ever whooped his ass for that shit. But I probably yell at him or jump at him to scare the shit out of him, like nigga. But Reese Joe crazy ass. Reese Joe's the first one to call Fred out on being a coon. And then she made that video. Remember, she was clowning my kids. Said, and that little black ass motherfucker Reggie Owens and his little ugly nappy headed something nappy headed little kids and shit. That bitch went off, man. That bitch is crazy. And then the DJ says that's that Brandon sorry, he says that's that shit Brandon have on Zav on his heart. And then Lyson Cletus says I can't take Blu-ray seriously, says with those moist robes says on in his eye says in his dyed braids and shit. Man, why would you be looking at Blu-ray while on that shit? Man, then they be having like 10 fucking bitches on that mug. Let me pull this shit up on the screen. Let me show. It's a little red bone on that motherfucker. The fool got like 2 red bones. It's a little bad dark skin one on. Let me pull this shit up. You don't pay. Different with y'all. With me, I don't pay attention to niggas, man. Especially when you got bitches on shit. Oh, let me show this shit. See, this ain't the chick. Well, hold on. Let me go to the show they had yesterday because there's a bunch of dudes on there today. Let me go to the show they had yesterday. Let me show you these little cold chicks. Where that shit they did yesterday. Hold on. Give me 1 second. They had a little cold little lineup on that mug. Yeah, I'm like, salute to these niggas, man. They doing their shit. Look at the little red thing. Look at this shit, man. These niggas out here doing their thing, man. I gotta give that nigga his credit, man. Even though I talk shit about 78 and all them, like I say, I keep shit player, homie. So anytime I'm gonna talk shit, it's gonna be out of some real shit. It ain't on no fake hate shit. I keep it shit real. Look at this shit. This chick called Rose. This chick named T. This chick named Karen Bad. This Mo Love chick. This chick, Cherry Bomb, where her icon look pretty. This chick, man, literally, and I like little red chicks like that. This is my style right here. These 2 little red things up there. And this little dark chick, she bad too. Them niggas have, and that nigga got cold lineup. I'm gonna have to. They stealing my style of show and shit. I was the originator of that shit. And then Picasso says the main subject says should be boxers can't be out here saying we risk our lives for your entertainment, says when it's your responsibility to take care of your bingo. Picasso says if you put yourself in harm's way, stop crying. Bingo. King Port's right hand says DJ says I told you about them weak ass Broncos. And then Lisa Bell says y'all hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, hit the thumbs up shit. And he says, y'all take it easy. Says, I got to go back to work. It is Saint Speak says, yo, says Fred talking shit on you again, OG. No, Fred know better. He talking shit about all these other fools. He said, you see Craig got a podcast now, says you got to jump on there. Man, I ain't talked to that nigga Craig in so goddamn long. What is it on YouTube? Is it on YouTube? I think I heard a while ago somebody say he was gonna jump on YouTube and shit. What's the name of it? I'm gonna go subscribe to it. And then Saint Speak says Fred said he should. Oh, so sorry. He says Fred said he told you about Al Heyman and PBC. Man, Fred said he told me about him. Why would I want to know about the PBC? Like that'd be the crazy shit with these niggas. Hey CJ, what's the name of Craig podcast? Like these niggas be talking about the PBC, like the PBC gonna pay us. We are not boxers. These niggas all into their dealings and business. Nigga, we ain't about to get a check from these fools. These niggas was getting checks by credentials, going to these fights, getting their views from doing interviews and shit. And then Picasso says Floyd gambled, says he dumb, says the house always wins, says trust me, says if you win, says the will says if you win, says the will cut the lights off, or they will cut the lights off, says and act like it's malfunction in the system. No, not Craig Facts, one of the homies that we grew up with. And then and he says Clippers getting their ass beat, says might as well start the music show. I can't wait to hear that. Let me see what's the score. That nigga do. I'll be laughing when the Clippers lose with how mad that nigga Deuce be, man. That shit be. He says what made you do it podcast. Okay, let me go sub to that. When that nigga Deuce be getting mad over the Clippers games, man, that shit be having me dying. Like yesterday when that nigga James Harden asked for that trade because the day before he talking about how they gonna make this fucking run and shit. Niggas James Harden abandoned them niggas. What made you do it? What made you do it? Podcast. Yeah, let me sub to that shit real quick. All right, yeah, let me see. Yeah, my nigga Craig on this mug. Let me see. Oh, they doing music and stuff? Let me see. Or maybe that's not the right. Let me make sure I got the right one. Let me hit the link you just put. Okay, no, good thing you put that link in there because they got another one called the same, or the other one called Why You Did It, Why We Do It podcast. All right, I got it. All right, yeah, I see that fool. I'm gonna check that shit out. Let me see what time. I'm gonna try to check it out before we go live on that music shit. Yeah, this way everybody coming to YouTube, man. This is the platform to be on, man. I gotta stop fucking up so I can monetize my shit. And he said someone took their salary in Bitcoin. Yeah, I forget. I think that was but whoever did that shit, they fucked their money off too doing that shit. I think it was Odell Beckham that did that shit. And then Gabby Sean says Kaminga says got traded for Porzingis. And then so did somebody answers Porzingis, the fool who the damn New York Knicks picked that one year? And I remember that fool, what's the white dude? The one white dude was getting pissed off by that shit. And then I'm gonna go live at 10. I'm gonna try to start at 10. So I'm gonna try to get out of here. And he says I made money with Bitcoin since I made money with Bitcoin, our cryptocurrency, says, but I also lost money. So that's why people not exactly buying it. Says it seems more like playing the lottery to me. Yeah, it is. It is some playing the lottery. All this shit is risky. It ain't even actual currency. This shit go through where it can inflate in pricing, it can fucking deflate, it crashes, all that shit. Some fools had a cryptocurrency. Many fools had a cryptocurrency, ran off with the money. Now it's dumbass in prison. CJ says Odell said he broke now too. Probably because that cryptocurrency shit. Says that nigga heavy. That nigga talking about my son breaking shit. And he says kids are off limits. Slim says I don't joke about the babies. Man, I don't cry about that shit. You think I'm gonna cry when Reese Joe said that shit? Hell no, that's the most weak ass shit. You think a motherfucker say, man, you got old ugly bitch ass kids and I'm supposed to cry over that shit or be overreactive? Lose my mind, screaming at computer, I'm gonna kick your motherfucking ass. Like, man, off the computer, I'm gonna laugh at that shit. In person, a person getting out there being overboard, disrespectful, we may have to go there. Or if we clown and roasting each other, it may be different. It depends on where people at. I'm not with that crying shit, man. Niggas be crying too much. And then Boxy says, "Oh, to my kids are limits." And then CJ says, "You see Craig? Oh yeah, that's what he's Craig's. Craig is the homie who got the franchise, Mr. Fries, man. So that's who Craig is, not Craig Facts." And then he says, "The show is called What Made You Do It podcast. Y'all subscribe to the homie." And then Jashawn said, and then come on, Jashawn, we got to think, bro. You just write 10. You talking about 10 for the music show. And then Sean says villains just ended. Says villains just ended they beef. Says with the Peblo. So you see that? Nuh-uh. I don't even know where they fucking hoods are at. Is the villains they on the east side? Is they down like on the other side of Watts? I don't even know where they damn neighborhoods at. And then Picasso says I can't see the motivation behind each team other than where they're located. Says if you like the team, says where you live, says it's like supporting your gang. Says they not fooling me. Says fuck these teams. Says I'm still Cowboys. And then he says the no, the low bottoms. Where the fuck is the low bottoms? I always hear that shit. I don't know where the low bottoms at. Let me see. I don't know where that shit at. Where's the low bottoms at? Let me see. Oh, is the low bottoms down in the 30s and shit? So the low bottoms is oh, that's what niggas mean. The 20s, 30s, 40s. So down in the 50s and all that shit. But is that on the east side? It says Compton Avenue and Central. So yeah, that would be like the east side and shit. It says Compton Avenue and Central. And then Brandon says, hey man, says you dropping the link, says we don't. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. I gotta set the show. Let me set that shit now. I'm gonna set it for like 10:15. Hey, nigga, oh man. I just found a better motherfucking pot pie. Them motherfuckers, hey, I'm a whole dude. They got a name for motherfuckers that go to Whole Foods and shop. Like Whole Foods is a different experience. I never fuck with the store like that, but I've been going to that shit because I be having to buy vegan shit, find vegan shit for my daughter. Man, but I used to buy the motherfucking. They got some empanadas they got in empanadas they got up in Whole Foods that I like. But I end up buying a pot pie that they have. Man, that shit is 10. Marie Calendar pot pies is banging. That motherfucking Whole Foods pot pie, nigga. Man, that shit is like that shit got a bad bitch panties in it. they must have put a bad bitch panties in that motherfucker. That shit is fire. Oh my god. Damn, that motherfucker be hitting. And then them niggas got the pizza they making that motherfucker that's off the hook. A bunch of they little pasta salad shit be good. Man, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm fucking with this shit. I'm fucking with this Whole Foods shit. Wait, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm setting up this live stream. But yeah, now I got me a Popeye out that mug, and it's like the family size Popeye. That shit is fire than a motherfucker. I'm a Popeye connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur of the Popeye. Let me see. Let me go over here, set the show up. I'm a Popeye connoisseur like a mug. West Coast Wednesday rap show. And it's gonna start off with Deuce having to shed his tears over motherfucking the Clippers. And I ain't staying out here too damn long. I mean, I ain't staying out here too long. We gotta end this shit by like midnight or some shit. Yeah, let me see. We'll go 10:15. Let me see. I got an icon to put on there. There we go. Yeah, I was trying to get these buildings in the back. Fuck it. This will work. All right. So video set up. All right. So let me see where we at. So then he says most underrated rap producers of all time. Cuz says DJ Unique, DJ Quick says Johnny P, Battle Cat says and that nigga Daz. I don't think they just ain't got to where now producers have all this fame and shit. I think who brought all the fame to produce? It'd be like Dre. Then I think Kanye brings that shit. And he says, fuck Popeyes. Nah, Popeyes the shit. And he says they called them Whole Foods Big Backs. Nah, Whole Foods got all that healthy ass food in it. Nah, they definitely ain't called the Whole Foods Big Backs. They be on that health shit. But nigga, I ain't caught up on that skinny shit. Nigga, you a bony ass nigga. Man, I got weight on me, homie. Shit. And he says you be eating like a college frat boy. No, I don't. No, I don't. And then he said, big back, big back, big back. Salute Michael Johnson. And Nano Boxer says we're gonna end the show. Says at 2:30 a.m. Sucker shit. Soon as they clip that motherfucker with one of them damn suspensions, it's over. Lights Cut says, stall him out, Slim. And then and he says you still slapping what is that? You still slapping Tolas? No, I listened to that one or two songs that you played and shit. Yeah, but no, his music cool, but that's that young nigga violent shit. I don't listen to young violent nigga shit all day. Like, but no, I can listen to that shit every now and then. But I wish them niggas and always talk about picking up guns and shooting niggas with it and shit. But yeah, that motherfucking Whole Foods, man, I think that's my new store to shop in. That's my new spot and shit. They got so much like good shit in there. They just healthy in that mug. And then I'll be feeling like a yuppie in that bitch. And then I go in there. Matter of fact, that's why I seen that fool Caleb Plant in there when I was saying the day of the Shakur fight, I seen Caleb Plant in there. And then I'll be looking at all the other races of people like they don't belong in there. I'll be on like some nigga yuppie shit. Now people look at you when you don't belong and shit. I go in that shit and I be looking at them like, and I stare at them like they give it a look. I'm notorious for that shit. Now they look at you like you don't belong. I look at them, walk by with the cart, look at where they like, what the hell you doing in here? I look in their basket. You know, if somebody want to look at your shit, I look all in their basket. I made motherfuckers feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna teach your motherfucking ass how to act, goddamn it. And some of the people be really rich, but I know how to make rich people feel like they ain't shit. And I'm a poor ass nigga. And then Jashawn says, nigga lying says and said he be playing said he be playing them, laugh out loud. And then no, I play that yo, you talking about the Thola dude? I play fool songs every now and then. And then Brandon Watson says Reggie discovering Whole Foods is funny. Man, yeah, I wouldn't go in that shit. I always thought that shit was like bullshit ass place. I didn't go into that shit like that. But because it's hard to find my daughter food, I start going there. But I was buying the motherfucking empanadas be the only thing I was getting out of there, and some of the little like pasta salads for her and shit. And then I found that Popeye the last time. Then I went and got a pizza in that mug. And it was like some pesto chicken pizza, some shit. Cause it looked like that spot I'd be going to buy them little ass pieces for like $20-something. It's that little fire fire brick oven type pieces and shit. The little thin sliced pizza with a good crust on that bitch. I tried that motherfucker. I said, oh hell no, I'm going back to this bitch. And then I made that Popeye yesterday. Oh my God, nigga. Like, oh yeah, these niggas in Whole Foods is something different. Yeah, I just now discovering that shit. Whole Foods is something different. Like I feel like a rich nigga in that motherfucker. And I look at all the white folks who think they uppity like they don't belong there. Like I ought to record myself doing that shit. I look at like, do you live around here? Yeah, bitch. You gotta keep your head straight. And then Go Your DJ says, he says, I didn't even know Mr. Fries and Flame. Yeah, that's his brother and shit. I call him by his real name, but I ain't gonna put what Uzi real name is. But yeah, that's his brother and shit. But I don't call him that Flame shit. I know him as his real name. I knew that nigga when he was born. He's a little ass baby and shit. And then even him, they had took his ass out to Chicago. They ended up moving his ass out to Chicago. When he came back, he a little wild ass little kid and shit. And he says, but yeah, that's his brother and shit. And he says, wait, says Reggie figure out, says to Reggie, figure out you can order Whole Foods on Amazon. Oh, said wait till I figure. No, I wouldn't dare order no fucking delivery shit. Hell fucking no. I'm anti-delivering bringing me food shit. I don't even order delivery. What that shit they used to deliver pizza. And you know what stopped me from delivering the pizza? I used to get that shit. Was the last time I ordered pizza, probably like fucking, that shit might be like 7 years ago, was when the nigga who delivered this shit looking at me like I'm supposed to tip him and shit. The nigga got mad because I didn't give him a fucking tip. Said, nigga, man, fuck you. Ever since that shit, I said, never in life am I doing that shit. Because I think them niggas are spitting yo, like, hell no, nah, fuck y'all. And then I go in there. I wouldn't dare online shop for food. It's weird to me. Fuck no. And then King Porter's right hand says Trader Joe got some fire shit. I might check that shit out. But Trader Joe's just they store looks so fucking whack. That's why I don't think nothing of it. Whole Foods got a fire design to that shit. How Whole Foods look is how the shit in there look. Oh, that's on the inside. Yeah, that's some fire shit in there. And then they got healthier shit. They on the healthier end of shit. So I be feeling like, yeah, I'm about to start losing a little weight and the shit tastes good in this bitch. And if Lysica says you should invest in some reading lessons, cuz Man, I ain't reading fucked up. And then Brandon, they're rolling. But folks, that's all I got. Let me get out of here for you. I'll be clowning this shit too long and then don't have time to. But I'm about to go heat up some of my Popeye. So fuck you, motherfuckers. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Let me go heat the other end of my Popeye. Nigga, I'm out, bitch. He said that shit ain't healthy, bro. Man, that shit healthy. What I'm buying, nigga. Peace, goddammit. I'm out.